All right. Well, good evening, everyone. I was having too much fun being silly in the chat with you all that we totally blanked on qualifying. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Green White Checker TV. Tonight we have the Area 51 Sunday Superspeedway SuperTruck Series here at iRacing Superspeedway. And we will be here for 70 laps at the minimum here tonight. And it will be one fast repair available, 3 green white checkered attempts. And so we'll pull up our starting grid for tonight's event, and it looks like it's going to be Kevin Freeze on the pole position. We've got to hide our race info away so we can actually see our starting grid. We got Kevin Freeze on pole, Cody Nagels next to him, then Rick Sanchez, Jason Bogart, row 2, Jacob Lee, Eric Laurie, Raymond Rittenauer, Todd Merkel, Corey Buskirk, Jack Walls rounding out our top 10. Then a couple of blind squirrels there in row number 6, Frank Ranger Jr. and Jeremy Osborne. Continuing down the order, we have Amber's Nabel, another of the blind squirrels. Then we get to drivers, so 13 taking time, 14th on back, opting to start based on their iRating. You've got Brian Wing, Gabe Butler, Patrick Groover, Seth Groover, Ryan Decker, Nick Wing, Jim Brooks, Quabi Brooks, Bob Fitzgerald, Bud Steele, and Brandon Briggs in 24th. Looks like we have all but 2 drivers so far taking part so far in getting everything up and running here. So we will pull up our timing ticker up on the top side there. And we got our first call for Bud Steele for the win. Where's our Bud Steele rocking right now? He is going to start way in the back here, but in a very good looking number 6 truck there. And all right, so we got 3 over under on cautions, 3.5. Well, seeing as my brother didn't grid, I'm going to say under now that he's not on the track. Safety for everybody. So he's been working on getting his VR working, everything. But so he's going to, we'll see if he's able to get onto the track at all. But everybody's starting to get rolling here this evening. I believe we'll be joined here in a little while by a Mr. Matt Wagner. Also, I don't know if you want to call it happy. What do you call it, daylight savings or not, but I live in Arizona, so we don't change our clocks. So for those that had to, hate to see it for you guys. But yeah, so hope you're having a wonderful evening. Say the meme date, though, tonight being March 10th is Happy Mario Day, with it being Mar10. So although I'm a little disappointed, I have to admit I've been looking around and I'm not seeing a lot of Mario paint schemes tonight. I was hoping to see the Groover brothers rocking Mario and Yoshi, but they're sticking with their Monster and McDonald's paint schemes. So we're gonna have to give a low score for the themes here tonight. Also missing Peter DeBorgia, so to me he's kind of Mr. Video Game Man, but I gave him a hard time earlier about that. So, however, I will shout him out a preemptive happy birthday. I believe it will be his official birthday tomorrow. So, Peter, if you're pre-celebrating, hope you're doing well, man. Happy birthday, in case I don't get a chance to chat with you tomorrow, man. So up front here, we got about 4 Chevys out of the 5 in the top 5. And then we got a Toyota, couple of Fords, it looks like, but a lot of Chevys towards the front here tonight. I don't think we'll see too much manufacturer loyalties on the drafting. It's going to be all about teammates here tonight. And so, yeah, we're going to see what we have here tonight. It's going to be Kevin Freeze on the inside, Cody Nagels on the outside, and we are green here at iRacing Superspeedway. And right off the bat, man, that number 5 truck of Rick Sanchez, he was ready to go. He is completely locked on the bumper of that 25. And this is one of those starts where you want to be on the inside line, because watch Cody, watch the 071. It's just so much slower on that top lane, and it's just unfortunate for those guys, and they're just going to be waiting and wasting no time as that 5 truck. He says, I want to get my lap led quick and early, as he's going to jump to the top here and try to see if he can get around Kevin Freeze. He has. Can Jason Bogart follow through? Yes, they both clear. They're going to drop to the inside, entering turn number 3. And this is where things always get the most sketchy initially, but we'll keep an eye and see. So far, looks like everybody's gotten through. Although we do have one truck that's looking a little off the pace here, Frank Ranger Jr. Not sure what happened. Frank's actually got damage already. He's already quick to pit road. So unfortunately, a bad start for Frank Ranger Jr. I believe Rick got that lap led. He's jumped to the top, said, all right, I got what I wanted. You boys go on through as Brian Wang, a close call there with that truck to his inside. but looks like all is well still so far. Most of the time you'll see these trucks are going to probably run mostly 2x2. As we got a little bit of motion there, Cody Nagel's going to jump to the middle. We got one truck to the outside. That is the 21 of Jacob Lee. He's going to try to get to the front. He's trying to see if he can find some help, but he's going to not quite have to clear. Now we're going to go 4 wide. Yes, we are. Jacob Lee on the outside of that 4th line. I say there's plenty of room to do it, but it gets a little hairy at times. And it looks like lap number 2 or 3, I should say. Yep, we'll go to Kevin Freese. He's got help from Raymond Rittenauer. And then you got Cody Nagels, but here comes that 3rd lane once more here with the 32 and the 48. Seth Groover and the 48 of Ryan Decker. As I'm trying to jump around because I don't know where to focus. Honestly, if the place I like, right here, this is where I want to be in this race. I'll be cruising in the back here with Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Brooks, because you got plenty of room to react if stuff happens up front. Because man, up front here, these guys are wasting no time on putting up some really good racing early on, and it just makes me nervous. You see just how these trucks just drop. They basically drop down into the turn, bounce out of the turns. I've referred to it before as a Dover on steroids. Just the way that the trucks the way they race and on this track, and it's not like a nice little progression into the banking. You literally drop into the banking and then you're gonna hop right back out of it. It is with the force feedback with these trucks, it definitely is quite the feel. What I'm gonna do here is let's watch with Raymond Rittenauer. We're gonna hop on his roll bar and watch how little you can see out of this 87 as you enter turn number 3. And you saw how quick he's making the motions of the wheel. That's how wild it gets there. And you also saw he rolled off the bumper of Kevin on entry because he wanted to make sure he could see that entry point. And that's why you see also Kevin, he's got a teammate he can trust behind him. And so he's going to give himself a little bit of room because he's not worried about Raymond trying to jump to his inside there. And so that's going to give Raymond a little bit better viewing angle of turn 1 and turn 3 on the entry. So a lot of really good teamwork here early on, but a couple of our big movers early right now. The 32, Seth Gruber, up 12 spots here, up to 5th. And then Brandon Briggs in the 18 truck, trying to give a good look for him. He's in that Winston truck there in the 18. He is up 15 spots as they're running. Ryan Decker plus 10 to 11, depending on where they are in that number 48 Sensi machine. But right now leading the outside line is that number 10 of Jason Bogart. Saying Jason, I know he's usually got a pretty good following here on YouTube, so definitely got to give him some attention. And he will lead that lap, so bonus point for the 10. As we're on lap number 6. Fuel window, I was hearing numbers. Oh, big move by Seth Brewer down to the bottom. But I was hearing rough numbers of around 18, 19 laps for fuel, 70-lap race. So basically it will be a 3-lap race, 3 pit stop race, not a 3-lap race. So we already got past that. 3 pit stop race here at iRacing Superspeedway. We're going to shoot off the back here. Seth Gruber is how he can get a nice view because he likes what he sees out front. So he's going to be watching the mirror, though, and you can see Kevin looks like for a moment, looked like he's going to try to jump up. Now looks pretty committed to him. So you can see, though, here comes that momentum to the top side, and that's going to be that 6 and the 05 Cody Nagels, Brian Wang. And once again, here comes that big drop into turn 1. And again, you can just see just how unsettled these trucks get there. And so we're pretty much running 2x2 for about the front half of the field. It looks like to about Nick Wing. And then from about Jeremy Osborne and Jason Bogart back, these guys said, you know what, we're going to cruise single file. I saw like we talked about, we saw the 5 Rick Sanchez. He got that bonus point. He said, all right, I'm going to cruise now. I just want to play it safe here. As, Raymond Rittenauer, that was the concern I had. He's going to hang on to it. But he just caught that apron just the littlest of bits, but great hands by 87 Truck to hang on to it. And that's the danger of this track on the entry of 1 and 3. And that's where things are going to get the scariest. But look at Jack Walls now, that number 83 Pennzoil truck. He got a big momentum shift. He jumps to the outside. Can't quite get far enough up ahead. And now that longer distance is going to kind of come back to haunt him. And this is another one of those ones where you have to kind of pick and choose when to make those moves. And you can see he's got the 18 I think he was trying to say, hey, come on back down here, giving him some space. And that's exactly what they do. Is now on the outside lane, you got the 21. Oh, nope, we got the 6 of Cody Nagels is squeezing 3 wide there. Was the 25 and the 21. Oh my goodness, these guys are staying close to each other here as we go 3 wide here back to the front stretch. Oh, a little bit of, we got the 48. Oh, contact 48 is around. It looked like, again, a little bit of a wash-up, unfortunately. Ryan Decker is going to get a big hit out of that one. You can see the front clip missing, smoke coming out the back. Hopefully has an engine. We'll hop on board and see if he's got any revs left. He's going to try to limp this thing back to pit road, but unfortunately that will be caution number 1. And I think it may have involved the 28 as well. So let's focus on Ryan Decker here. In that 48 truck as they enter turn number 3. And I think what you're going to see is the 28. Yeah, you can see he's already washing up here. And then you can see just has a little bobble, tries to catch it, but unfortunately in catching it gets caught into the 48 truck. You can see again, that's a perfect example of iRacing net code. And then Jack Wall's unfortunately just nowhere for him to go. I'd say it looks like, I think he still does get a piece of it. Again, looks like with the net code maybe got away with a little bit less damage. But it looks like otherwise the rest of the field here kind of sneak on through. So you can see that 48 truck, unfortunately, pretty rough in the background. That's obviously going to be a fast repair. So we will jump back live here. We'll take a look. I think Ryan's already on pit road. So he's made it to pit road. And that's actually great news for him because the field has just caught the pace car here down the backstretch. So he should be able to hold on to the lead lap. He'll restart on the tail end, however. And also a huge break for Frank Ranger Jr. as he had to pit early. We saw at the very beginning he was a lap down. So that's going to put Frank, I believe, back on the lead lap as well. So that should give us 23 cars back on the lead lap. And then for the big cheer for Sanchez, he is towards the back, but that was by choice. He got that lap led early. Then he said, I don't want to be in the front of this field where things can get scary. And yeah, I think he's playing very, very smart here as field is all about to hit pit road and for their first scheduled stop of the day. So now the question mark is going to be 2 tires, 4 tires, and fuels. If we go green from here, this is going to be just about a 59 lap run. Some guys could try to stretch their mileage here and try to see if they can make this thing on 2 more stops. Some may have to take a splash without a yellow. So this could get very interesting on the timing. Ooh, I think I saw Brian Wang have to throw it in reverse there, so overshot his pit stall a little bit there. So we'll keep an eye on how the 05 comes out as we got a couple trucks getting themselves settled in. A few overshot their stalls, and it looks like it will be Jacob Lee winning the race off of pit road. And it looks like Cody and Kevin are going to come out 2nd, 3rd, Raymond Rittenauer 4th, and then give 5th to Todd Merkel. Mentioned Ryan Decker. He is catching back up to the field. I think he's probably going to try to hit pit road, but I think he may be having to wait right here for our wave around truck. That is that 17 of Ryan Decker, or sorry, of Frank Ranger Jr. So Ryan's got to be careful not to go too far in before. So you can see he's trying to back it down. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Hopefully no pit penalties there, but it'll be the 21 that will have the lead here after pit stops. However, we'll step away for a second, and we'll be back here in just a moment. So enjoy our messages, though, from a wonderful sponsor, 4D Racewear.
4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, lights are off of the pace truck. I see a certain somebody snuck their way into the booth. I'd say I think he had to stop for some hot dogs and popcorn or something there. That is Mr. Matt Wagner. Matt made it 10 laps, had unfortunately an issue with the 28 and the 48. 48 getting by far the worst end of it, but able to get to pit road, got a fast repair back on the lead lap. Frank Ranger Jr. had to pit pretty much on lap 2, so he's back into the lead lap as well. So that has us now back at 23 trucks on the lead lap. We do have a handful of topping off trucks here. Looks like I believe Ambrose Nabel was one, but then we have Brian Wang, Eric Laurie, Rick Sanchez, Gabe Butler, Nick Wing. This puts us really close, in my mind, to a potential two-stop strategy, pending, of course, going green to the end. But then, I mean, you've got to, if you're going to do it, you've got to fully commit from pretty much from even under this caution, and then from here on to the end.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. This ain't no regular racetrack. This is a 3-mile racetrack. So pitting under caution here, yeah, I would take that and come down pit road. It's going to be a lot of fuel saving, especially here.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun to see how strategies go. Looking at pit stops, it looked like the 32 Seth group had a really long pit stop. Not sure. I do see a couple of trucks heading onto. Oh yeah, I see Ryan Decker hitting pit road. I think he did wind up getting an unsafe pit road. I said I think he probably had to wait for the 17 to come around. I think he just got too far up pit road before that happened. So unfortunately, I'd say just bad luck to worse for Ryan here, but still a long ways to go. So hopefully things will work out for him as the race continues. However, up front though, we've got 3 hooked up to the top right now. The 687.25. 21 waiting for the 22 to get to him, and now they're going to start to get some lock together. But right now, that's pretty much allowed those top 3 to sneak right on by. And then Corey Buskirk is close, but won't quite be able to clear that spot as well. So he's got a teammate behind him in the 04 of Ambrose Nabel. But right now, you can see everybody's trying to find themselves situated here. A little bit of wiggling from some in that mid pack, but right now, almost I want to say a breakaway, but for super speedway racing, yeah, a bit of a 4-truck breakaway here with the 687, 25, and 21. Ryan just leaving pit road now, Matt, so he will go a lap down, unfortunately, with that pit penalty. So he's going to have to hope for a yellow. But again, I mean, it's still very early in this one. Next time by, it's going to only be lap number 15 of 70. But the other problem is he's kind of off on his own now. So. And I'm also now looking at Frank Ranger Jr. He's at risk of falling off the draft here in that 17 truck. So he's got to try to hustle back up there and get to it, because otherwise that's also going to make matters even more difficult for the 48 truck of Ryan Decker. Oh, as we got contact for 25-21.
Oh, our prayers have been answered for Mr. Ryan Decker.
Yeah, big break for Ryan. A bunch of trucks involved here. Everybody's trying to get settled. It looked like it may have kicked off with the 21 and 25. We'll go back and we'll take a look. But a number of trucks involved in this one because it was right towards the absolute front of the field. And it looks like, yeah, 25 involved. 04, yeah, 04, Ambrose Nabel also. Let's go take a look. Like I said, it looked like it was towards the front half here. So let's go back a little bit. And I'm going to focus initially. Like I said, I think I saw around these two here, 21 and 25. Let's get a better look. Here we go. You see the 21 low. Oh, just off-centered really there. I'm going to back it up one more time out to see if was it anything from, say, well, probably a better view is going to be from the roof of that number 21 truck. So we'll watch here on the back. As I say, I mean, just maybe Kevin drifts up a little bit. We talk about teammates, you can drift up lane and feel safe about it, but maybe not as much. And just an uncentered bump and just really upsets the 25. And at that point, Kevin's just along for the ride. And then everybody else behind is just hoping they can find a way through, which is not the case for the 32, is not the case for the 88. And then who else is there? Brian Wang gets a piece of it as well. Looks like a little squeeze for Patrick, if I'm not mistaken, in the 54. And, yeah, you see Busty. I mean, at that point, it's pretty much pretty much the field all getting a bit of a piece of it here. I'm watching Jim Brooks. He's trying to kind of just straddle the wall there. Really, the guy who's in the best spot right here is that '08 of Bob Fitzgerald. He was able to just kind of keep it completely back down and avoid pretty much all of it. So this is going to shake things up a bunch now, Matt, because everybody's on pit road. Everybody's going to get service here. Ryan Decker is going to go ahead and get his wave around. He's already on his way, so I'll put him back on the lead lap. And looks like Cody's going to be the first one out of pit road. But now the question mark is going to be who's got how much damage, because there's going to be some lengthy pit stops here. So this will be interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that, see how it looks, and we'll be back here on the one to go. So stay tuned.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right. Yeah. Right now the over's looking good as we're on caution number 2 on 17 of 70. But you never know. This does, though, I believe, put us now into a 2-stop window to the end. I do see a handful of trucks here. Go ahead and saving as much fuel as they can. Lengthy pit stops. Seth Gruber, Kevin Freeze, Brian Wang, all 3 trucks over a minute. Jack Wall's almost a minute on pit road as well. So possibly some fast repairs thrown onto these trucks. A few drivers topping off right now as well. Like I mentioned, though, Ryan Decker, that's the break he needed. So say the wife's prayers were answered. So he's back in business there in the 48. So great news for him. I said so, and that's how it goes sometimes in racing. So yeah, so we're gonna restart this thing. It'll be lap 18 of 70. Like I said, 2 more stops still to the end. I was saying Matt was kind of doing some kind of super sleuth and slow-mo action. And he mentioned to me during the break there that he saw some flames coming out the back of that 21 truck of Jacob Lee. So it sounds like he tried to get out of the throttle, just wasn't quite quick enough to get checked up to not get into the back of the 25. And just unfortunately, I say that off-center contact, that's pretty much all it's going to be from there. So really now it's going to be who's able to get a good restart, and then who's got the draft and the truck still with the damage potential. So you see a couple of them still trying to hustle back up there at the very, very back. So they should just get there in time. Brian Wang, the last of those trucks, as once again back to green here. Cody Nagel's leading the way in that 6. But right now I think momentum looks pretty good on the outside with Raymond right now. He has a nose ahead, but I don't think can clear on entry. No, he will not be able to. So right now it's going to be Brandon Briggs pushing the 6. They're going to get towards the front, but look at that. Cody's going to pick up Raymond right now, or he wants to get help from that teammate. Say another driver he's very comfortable with, and they're going to try to kind of push that outside line, but now that allows the 18 and the 54, Brandon Briggs, Patrick Gruber, to try to work that inside line. Bud Steele there in that 3rd spot on the inside. Inside line's looking good for the moment. The outside always gets great momentum, though, Matt. So we'll see if Brandon can get this lap led, or will Cody get it? Because right now both sets of trucks are locked on, and it will be Cody by about half a truck. And so far it looks like most part everybody's able to hang the draft pretty well here, Matt. So that's a good sign for these guys. The one I'm a little nervous about though is that 04 of Ambrose. He's about half a second off of Jim, but truck looks okay. I think maybe just rolled off of Jack Walls. I apologize. I think maybe just rolled off a little bit too much. And yeah, it looks like I think he may have actually taken his faster pair there because we saw he was missing part of his front fender. So yeah, so I think we've got all 23 trucks all in pretty good shape, all on the lead lap. As contact the 1822, they're gonna try to hang on to it.
Hang on, boys.
Oh, somehow do. That was some great hands, Todd Merkel. I think there was also some great reactions there as well. Didn't catch which ones they were, but oh man, that was the moment there. So hands off, or hats off, Todd Merkel hanging on to that 22 truck. Unfortunately, Brandon Briggs just got a little bit, either maybe caught the apron, just got tight on entry, washed up into the 22, and it's something that we talk about pre-races. Turn 1, turn 3, the entries, man. I mean, that's where problems are going to happen.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm here. Todd Merkel comes from the chat. You guys cannot hear him, but he was that was a moment he had there.
So up front, Cody Nagels, he's got Raymond Rittenauer behind him. Again, these guys look like they feel pretty happy kind of controlling this inside line together, so I think you're going to see these guys continue to kind of work together. It's going to have to come from third, fourth, or further back for this next group to, if anybody wants to try to lead this race. And like we mentioned, Matt, at this point, fuel mileage should be a non-issue. It should be a two-stop race for everybody. The only difference, of course, the potential of maybe if you want to try to go a little longer, maybe a shorter pit stop towards the end. Those are potentials of that side of things. But again, you can see just a little bit more spread out towards the back. Honestly, more than I would like if I'm these guys here. I feel Seth is safe. Frank's, I think, right there too. But I don't know. Every time I see Ambrose, he's about 7/10 off. And it's a little further than I'd like him to be if I'm in that position because it's so
That's
easy
scary.
to get dropped here.
Yeah, especially here in these trucks, you really don't want to lose the draft here. It's good. You're gonna have yourself a long night.
Look at this
That
middle
second
lane, though.
lane is forming. Yeah, I was gonna say that second lane was working.
Yeah, I got the Chevy Land 5 truck pushing the 998. They got a little off sequence there, so you can see. I was saying again, this is where when you race with a teammate or someone you know really, really well, you know how high they're going to drift up off the turn. And so you know, okay, if I just drift off half a lane, I'll still stay locked onto them, things of that nature. But you saw that time the 998 drifted up a little bit there more, I think, than Rick was expecting. And so that gave him a little bit of separation. But look at that time. They stayed right on cue, right hooked up together. I believe Corey will lead this lap. He'll clear, actually. So move Corey to lead down to the inside line now.
Right.
I just saw Rick Sanchez. I saw the chat moving on up. Yeah, as he got his lap led, he dropped to the back. He said, you know what? I feel racy again. So Rick's trying to try to work himself back up there in that 54, and he's got a Patrick Gruber behind him to help him. But yeah, so we got, I mean, the paint scheme of Corey Buzzkirk's truck. I mean, that squirrel is jacked, man, on the side of it.
I gotta get my training pages running.
Yeah, it's worth it on that one. I'd say I don't think that squirrel will be able to legally enter any Olympics competitions because I'm pretty sure that guy's a little bit roided up, but it's working here on track, and I'd say he's right now leading that inside line, still ahead of Cody Nagels. I believe Rick led that previous lap in the 5 truck, but it's pretty even right now between these inside and middle lanes. Also, I think there's a connection. Oh, yeah, I think it goes from it was bad, then good, then oh my goodness. About to say worse for Ryan Decker, as I believe he's had a connection hiccup, and I think he's dropped from the server. So,
yep.
So unfortunately, the bad luck turned into good luck is turned into worse luck for the 48 truck. So this is something that we can bring up though now, Matt, is these trucks all do have one drop week out of the first 8 races. So basically it's going to count their best 7 of 8 races. And so for instance, for Ryan here, if he can't get back in, winds up finishing at the moment 23rd, I would assume that's probably his worst finish of the season so far. That would be his drop week. So it would kind of be like if this race didn't happen for him. So That again, it's kind of a mulligan you get that way when we get to those final 4 races coming up in just a few weeks' time. Then everybody will reset to 0, or sorry, I should say the top 16 reset to 0, and then we have a 4-race playoff where whoever does the best over those final 4 races will be the 2023 Season 1 champion. 2024 Season 1 champion.
It's like what we did for Tuesday. Yeah, during the build week we had a little bit of technical problems, so we moved from 1 week, and we moved it to 2 weeks, just to be fair for the other drivers, because we don't have control over iRacing. It's nothing we can do, so it's a generous thing to do.
Yeah,
it's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do. It's nice to have the one mulligan. I mean, again, this is for fun. Everybody's got real life and real things that happen from time to time. And yeah, Caitlin just popped in saying that having some internet issues. So I mean, I don't know what kind of streaming you're doing, Caitlin, other than our broadcast. So don't turn that off, because I mean we want you here, but I'll say make sure you're not doing some Netflix in or things like that. So obviously joking. So it looks like Ryan is going to try to get back on track, though. I see the truck and he's leaving pit road now. So shout out to Ryan, though, for not giving up. He's going to be some laps down, but he's going to try to stick this thing out and try to see if he can maybe salvage some points, or at least get some laps in. And again, we've seen it before too, Matt, where maybe a truck that's a lap down, I mean, he could play an integral role. He can help a teammate, maybe push him, give him a good draft, and help them either get a win or a top 5 that maybe they didn't have. So that could come into play as well here.
Yeah, I was kind of curious how many laps. Oh, he is 4 laps down. So
he need basically a perfectly timed caution, and then some more, basically. Yeah, so he's rooting for that over on the 3.5 cautions that Brendan Briggs was talking about earlier.
Yeah, so Ryan, I know you desperately want to win here, just like I do. Go help somebody else win. That's my I would say do it. Pay it forward.
And I haven't seen her yet, but for a Mama Groover update, her boys are locked on together on the outside line. They're trying to work their way into the top 5 on the outside of Bud Steele. I said I was kind of making some jokes earlier, saying that they needed to be back in the Mario and Yoshi paint schemes for today being March 10th, but I don't know, man. Nobody listened to me, and everybody's just running their own regular scheme. So I'm a little hurt.
All right, I'm going to have to talk to these boys after the race.
But yeah, no, and so you mentioned, though, the drop weeks and everything. So one thing we did learn out of that, and we being probably me in this case, is don't have a race on a build day. Is basically what's happening, especially this last one. I mean, this is one of the biggest iRacing build updates with adding rain. So unfortunately 2 of your drivers on the Area 51 Dark Horse series weren't able to make the grid, and so like I said, you went from the 1 drop week to the 2 to kind of give them their mulligan. Again, I mean, it's still not going to feel good that they missed that race on their side, but it gives at least like I said, it gives them a non-last place finish for those. So it's a tough one to say, but yeah, I mean, I learned something too for race buildings. Like, hey, you know what? Usually the build days are on Tuesdays, so in the future, let's not have, if there's a build day on a Tuesday race, that's going to be an off week for that open wheel series. So we learned, and we'll move forward from it. However, Matt, these guys pitted at lap number 15, 16. We're at lap number 30. So we've got about 4, maybe 5 more laps until these trucks are going to have to figure out where they want to be, because pit road is going to be happening very soon, potentially under green. And again, I've talked about it. This is one of the scariest pit roads of iRacing in general, and definitely one of the scariest here in the Area 51 Superspeedway series. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a bit of a nerve one for me. I know you'll be listening to the drivers when they start to call in when they're gonna hit pit road, but they're gonna be coming out of turn 4 at about 220. Right. They gotta get this thing down to 65 miles an hour with a very, very abrupt transition in the banking, which makes it even harder to brake and get these trucks woed up.
You know, as your brother would say, this is a jacked up Dover, sweetie. Well, it's not quite the pit road entrance.
It's a
like,
Dover on steroids is what
yeah,
I call it.
yeah.
Because it is Dover. You drop down the turns, you bounce out of the turns. I mean, like if I think I have a great suspension camera for these trucks, but if we could see them, you would see the trucks just drop and then bounce out of the turns, and it's just it is just such. It's in the truck too. You feel it in your force feedback. It is violent.
Yeah, I actually been to Dover National. It's yeah, I've actually seen the car almost. That was way back when, but my gosh, it was.
So here's Ryan Decker, and he's going to go one more down. And you're saying, Kaylee made a great point, though, mentioning representing the paint scheme perfectly there. Because, you do see the green ribbon on it. So I'm going to try to see if we can get a better look at that here. Because I do want to take a look. And like I said, this is where Ryan can play a little bit of a role and try to help his teammates even possibly where maybe one of his guys misses the pit road a little bit. Things of that nature. He can maybe be that extra pusher. So let's see. We're going to hop on Todd. We're going to look out the back. See if we can get Ryan to get a little closer on the draft here to Todd. There he comes, just right on cue. Kaylin, I might have to have you kind of let me know. Actually, let's see if we can get a better look. I saw the fight, but I can't tell the last couple parts of it, unfortunately. Are you able to spot it, Matt?
I'm looking.
While you peek around, we'll jump back to the front for the moment. It's mostly settled out. Oh, kidney disease. Okay. I'm guessing, unfortunately, I'll say it's probably one that's hitting close to home to you guys. So definitely giving you our best, Caitlin and Ryan and everybody in the Decker family, of course.
I see it.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, I mean, everybody's going through. It's one of those things like you never know what people are going through, and usually everybody's always going through something. So definitely give you and your family our best. Hope whatever it is able to be resolved, and so thinking of you all. All right, Matt. I think
we got some pitters there.
I was gonna say it's gonna be this time. I had to think, so I was looking at the lap counter. I was like, it's about time. Oh yeah, she just. Oh man, that's a tough one, Kaylin. So yeah, definitely giving you and Ryan and the whole family are just thinking of you, and definitely all of our thoughts and prayers. So hopefully he can have him keep fighting, and I definitely look forward to hearing him beating it. All right, Matt, this is where we get nervous here.
I'm looking at sitting on Brian Wang's onboard camera. For me, it's really nice. Oh, the 54 is going to lose it on pit road, and Brian Wang takes the. Wow.
So that's going to be Patrick Gruber. He's going to loop around. That's going to cost him the draft. He's going to have to also make a tough decision on fast repair or not. Everybody else on pit road. Here's the next group. They went one extra lap. This will be a slightly smaller pack here, Matt. This is 10 trucks together from Gabe Butler to Jim Brooks. The other pack looks like it was about 12 trucks. Ryan Decker is in this pack as well, so that is actually 11 there. But I think, we're going to see all of these guys hop in now together. And also got to watch for pit road penalties. And looks like Frank Ranger Jr. did have a penalty. But here comes everybody else. And again, this is where everybody's got to try to get settled and organized. And this group, great job by all of them here. No issues for these guys. And you see there also, and this is going to be interesting here. I really do want to watch Ryan on this one, Matt, because he's going to need less fuel than the other drivers. So he's going to have an opportunity to actually maybe cycle towards the front of this pack. So I'm intrigued to see what he's going to do here. Looking at the drivers that left pit road, looks like Brian, Cody, Bud, Kevin, and Seth came out pretty close together, but then there's separation. Now you see the 54 just now leaving pit road, I believe probably for a pit road penalty. And look at Ryan Decker. He's already gone. He's locked onto the back of that 54. And then for those on the lead lap, it's going to be Raymond Rittenauer leading the field for this group out of pit road, ahead of Rick Sanchez and Jacob Lee. But again, ahead of them, though, here's Patrick Gruber. He had that pit penalty as well for his, I'm sure, for speeding and then the slide. But he's going to have help. He's going to have Ryan Decker here. So like I said, they should cycle towards the front, but they're going to have a pretty hungry pack of trucks just in the background here. You can kind of see them building up a little bit. And this is where if you're these two trucks, again, you never want to root for bad luck, but you would love to see a yellow if you're both of these guys, because you've gained a lap basically through the cycle. Or right now, like I said, if you're Patrick, I think your tail end of the lead lap. But right now it looks like everybody's starting to get themselves pretty organized here. And we've got looks like maybe we might have a 5-truck breakaway here with Brian, Cody, Bud, Kevin, and Seth. As Raymond Rittenauer is about 1.7, and it's climbing, going the wrong way. So right now, great job by these top 5. We'll see how aggressive they are, Matt, if they want to try to keep building this gap, as unfortunately caution did not come out on time for these two. They're going to get trapped behind, but they'll lock on a line here. Obviously, Patrick behind Seth, and then Ryan behind Patrick.
Also, as I mentioned, that Ambrose Nabel had a pit road speeding violation. Luckily, he was able to snack on the back of the 22 truck, and along with Gabe Butler and Jason Bogart in the 10. So he's only going to be 1 lap down, but he's going to stay in the draft, which is it's going to be good for him. But the 54, what a rough one.
Yeah, it's not what he needed, but again, there's still a lot of time to go in this one. And you'll see on the side on your ticker, I just changed it from intervals to lap times. And so you'll see last time by Brian Wayne, 46.53. But look at Raymond Rittenauer, Rick Sanchez, 46.20, 0.3 of a second quicker. And you can see they are catching. They've got the draft now of these guys in front. Jacob Lee he needs help basically to try to get up to these guys, because right now he's kind of off on his own island just a little bit until he gets caught by that Todd Merkel, Gabe Butler group like you mentioned. But I think he should be able to hold on. However, I think after Jason, it's too far back for Jim and Nick Wing. They're over 2 seconds back from Jason. They're going to need some help at this point. And yeah, last time by Raymond Rittenauer, 45.97, fastest lap of the race, to a 46.66 by Brian Wayne.
I was going to say Raymond Rittenauer has, like, pretty much, I call him one of the hottest drivers in Area 51 right now. That would be number 5, Rick Sanchez.
Yep. Yeah, Rick's been on a really solid roll lately. And I mean, I'm just happy to have Raymond back too. He was one of the original Superspeedway Area 51 racers, and he kind of took a break. I think he was doing more official stuff and things of that nature. But now he's back over here too, and so yeah, glad to have him back for sure. And again, looking at lap times, now we have to go back, like I mentioned, to the Jacob Lee group, and it's going the right way actually also, Matt. It was a 46.41 for Jacob compared to a 46.71 for Brian, so they're there as well. So that 5-car breakaway, truck breakaway, it's going to turn into an 11-truck breakaway of lead lap drivers. But then unfortunately, you got to go 4 seconds back for this next pack here, being led by Corey Buskirk, and then you got Eric Laurie, Bob Fitzgerald. They are running.
Yeah, they caught him. It's
so
done.
we've got 11 trucks in the main pack. Then you got to go 4 seconds back to this group here. That said, though, their pace isn't that bad, honestly, Matt. Last time by Corey ran a 46.31. I'm going to compare it to the this time when they come around. Or I'm sorry, I was looking at their best lap, not the last lap. So Brian Wang 46.82, Corey Buskirk 46.62. So it was 0.2 quicker. But again, they still have about 4 seconds from Corey to Jason there. So they need to try to get probably about 3 seconds or so to get kind of the sniff of that draft. So, but then again, we got to think about fuel here. Again, they're going to have to pit, again, probably roughly lap 55, I would say, which will bring them to about 15 to go. And I think at this situation, Matt, I think you run it out because that if you run it to empty, that should put you enough to have those green-white checkers, I feel like. So we'll see. But what I'm going to do, because we got a lot of single file action going on, let's take a look at these awesome paint schemes and take a closer look at our drivers. Let's run through the field like you said. So we're going to zoom in on these beautiful trucks. We're going to kick it off with Mr. Brian Wang in that number 05 truck, plus 13 spots from where he qualified. Right behind him is the 06 of Cody Nagels. Started second, running second in the 06. Then you got the 6 of Bud Steele, plus 20 from 23rd to 3rd.
He is our highest climber so far this
By far.
evening. By far.
4th, you got Kevin Fries. He's dropped 3 spots from 1st to 4th.
Our pole sitter.
He'll be okay. And then we got one of the Groover brothers, Seth Groover, in the number 32, plus 12. He's our second highest climber, like you were mentioning there, Matt. And then we won't see him next because I'd say he's a lap down right now, but we'll then jump to 6th in position. That is Raymond Rittenauer in that number 87 machine. Right now, started 7th, running in 6th. Then, like I said, one of the hottest drivers recently in the series is Rick Sanchez in the 5 truck. Right now in the top 10, sitting in 7th. Then Jacob Lee in the 21 in the 8th spot, just a few spots back where he started. Todd Merkel only 1 spot back from where he qualified in 8th, now in 9th. And then Gabe Butler right now sitting in the top 10 in that number 88 machine.
The legend himself.
I say, the man, myth, the legend. 11th, I know definitely people always try to find that truck, and that is the 10 of Jason Bogart right now. He's dropped from where he started, but he's in the main pack. He's where he needs to be. And that is the last of the trucks in this main first pack on the lead lap. Then you go about 3.5 seconds, but they're making time, Matt. They're getting here. That's being led by Corey Buskirk in that 998. Bob Fitzgerald doing a great job pushing him here.
I love me some Bob.
Yeah, Bob's a good dude, and I'll say, and selfishly, if Micro Center, if you're watching, can you bring one in Arizona? I want one. He sits in 13th spot. Brandon Briggs, I mean, this man has been through a lot. He had to basically stop racing for a while because he had to deal with a house fire. But everything's he's got everything back. He's back racing, so really happy to have Brandon back. He's right now plus 10 in the 14th position. Jack Walls, if it's not a yellow truck, it wouldn't be a Jack Walls truck. He sits in 15th. Jim Brooks there in the 51 is in the 16th position. The same thing, I think, just kind of cruising right now. You see the 08, he's dropping back. I think he got hot, so he's letting someone else take over pushing duties. And then behind Jim is Nick Wing in the number 28 machine. Always love that Ray Bess's paint scheme. Then we drop back to Eric Laurie. Eric was one of the pushers earlier as well in this main pack. He's backed it down as well. I think, again, same thing, probably trying to take care of his equipment. And right now, Eric, the last truck on the lead lap. Then we jump back towards the front pack to the 54 of Patrick Groover. Right now, the first truck 1 lap down in 19th. He's got about a second and a half on Jeremy Osborne, who is in this pack. So he's got to be careful to make sure he can't let Jeremy get back around him. And then Ambrose Nabel is the third truck a lap down in the 04. And like you mentioned, Matt, due to a pit penalty. And then Frank Ranger Jr. is 2 laps down. But unfortunately, I believe is just on the edge of hanging on to this draft here in that 17 truck. So again, can't fall too far back. It's got to be careful. And then right now, last truck on track for position, Ryan Decker. But big ball by the 54. Again, had a connection hiccup. He had to basically reconnect, get back in there. But again, is sticking it out. So that's love to see that from all of our drivers. And like I said, I mean, it could come out to help him out either in the race or, like you said, Matt, maybe help out a teammate. Oh, got a couple trucks jumped way up high there. Trying to catch who those were. Oh, I think it was the 17 and the 41. That was scary there for a second. Saw him drift way up the track. But yeah, so those are our 23 trucks still in the race. All starters in the race. 18 of those on the lead lap. And like I said, we are on 23 to go here, Matt. Like I said, I think the magic window is about, or I should say the max window is about 15 to go. So do you play strategy, Matt? Do you say, you know what, when I get in my window, maybe I can take one, like, so the way these trucks work, Matt, of course, I'd say, but for the viewers, there's a certain amount of fuel, which will be 1 can of fuel. But as soon as you go over that number to the next range, that plugs in your second can. That's going to extend your pit stop by probably about 3 seconds or so, just by the switch over. Do you see, if you can make it on one more stop to the end on 1 can of fuel, do you take the risk and the gamble, say, you know what, I don't care about the green-white checker potential. I want to see if I can separate myself from the field. But you got to have everybody else on the same page with you to do it.
I think there's some a little bit of bob back in the second pack, but I think there's some fuel saving going on with the field here because I'm watching lap times between the first pack and the second pack. There is some strategy going on around here because the pace has dropped off quite a bit.
That
but
leads
for
me to think one can then.
So I think these guys are trying to save as much fuel and try to go for that one can and not get that extra can.
Yeah, I'm looking at lap times too, man. And I mean, we had some drivers running their best laps in the low 46s. We're running low 47, so the pace has dropped about a second. So that's same thing, kind of like what you said. It tells me that these guys aren't pushing 10 out of 10 right now aggression.
No.
The window to pit to make it to the end, I would say safely, probably 18 to go full aggression, but maybe they can pull off 19 as we did see a lot of guys pit at 20 to go. So I'm curious about that one. But yeah, right now though, it's like now I was going to say these guys need to try to get themselves reorganized a little bit in the second pack, and they've done so now with Jack Walls. I think he's kind of switched over, said, hey, I'll be the pusher. I think Corey's done a great job being the leader of this pack. So you can see he's been holding a real steady line. He makes sure he gives enough room for the entry so that Jack can see where that entry is, because that's super critical as well. So yeah, I like what these guys are doing, and they're tantalizingly close, Matt, right now. I talked about Corey to Jason 3.3 seconds. The thing is, Jason's got a couple trucks behind him, so it's really more of maybe 2.8, somewhere in that range. So if they can get another second and a half, they're going to start sniffing the draft off of that 17 truck of Frank Ranger. So they got to keep at it. They were about a 10th quicker last time by. Ooh, Raymond Rittner, I saw him drift way up there on entry. And actually, yeah, so he's kind of fallen off a fair chunk here. I mean, he's fine, but kind of odd. Not sure if something happened, but the same thing though. That's going to check that whole bottom line up a little bit. And that's going to bring the Corey Buskirk group here even closer. So, and like you said too, I think, man, if I'm in the second pack, Matt, and I can't catch him before pit stops, I think I gamble. I say, you know what? I'm going to short pit here.
Wait a minute.
I think we
got some bidders. I think.
So here's the gamble.
Wang Company. Yep, here it is.
So we got a bunch. Oh, we got one. Oh, big hit for Corey Buskirk. We had just talked about. Oh, Raymond written around. Oh, truck. Who hit Raymond there? I saw someone else catch that 87 truck. Not sure who hit him, but oh man, this is gonna hurt a bunch of trucks though, trying to make that strategy work.
No, he spun it on his own.
But I think there was contact though between he and another truck. I just don't know which truck it was.
Well, oh, that'd be Gabe Butler.
Oh, 88. Oh, and I saw a truck reverse right there. I think that was the 10 truck. So it's all, I wouldn't say coming undone, but it's not going nearly as smoothly as a bunch of them are hoping for. Because also look at this, Matt. It's 4 trucks coming out together. You've got Kevin, you've got Cody, Jacob, and Brian. But then you've already got 1.6 seconds back to Bud Steele.
Here comes the next guys.
Yeah, here comes the reaction. Well, actually, not all of them, just a few. So you got the Groovers, you got Todd Merkel, and then surprisingly, you've got Ryan Decker. I would think Ryan would have wanted to wait and go with his teammates there.
Caution's out.
Oh, caution's out. This is going to change everything. It's probably a spin on pit exits, and I think it may have been. I see something about Jacob Lee, and yep, that is Jacob Lee. So caution is out. We'll have to wait and see where timing and scoring is, if anybody got trapped laps down. But let's go back. We're going to take a quick look, see what happened for the caution. And we'll focus initially here on Jacob Lee. So we're watching the pit exit. You can see the 21 already. Let's get a little closer. Ooh. And he's working on getting out of pit road. It gets really tight there. I think he's got a lot of wheel crank to it. Gets loose. Oh, I think just he had to check up. So he was getting so tight. He got contact by Brian Wang, who's trying to keep his momentum built up to stay with those guys. And then, yeah, at that point, Jacob's just going to go around for a spin. Everybody else is going to try to sneak around him, which they do. But that brings our yellow out. So brings the whole field back together. Again, it's going to, unfortunately, for those that did not pit, which is going to be the first of which will be Jack Walls, it looks like, to Brandon Briggs. These drivers are going to have to pit under caution. However, again, Matt, these guys now will be having the extra fuel to go to a green, white, checkered potential. I'm not so sure about some of the other guys that pit under green, I should say, like Kevin Freeze and company. So this will be, strategy is going to be very interesting. See who's going to come back in, maybe top off.
I'm coming.
We got to see who the wave around truck is going to be. I think right now it looks like it will likely be Raymond Rittenauer, who should get the free pass. And then we have to also see which drivers are in between the leaders and the drivers that pitted, because that's also going to throw things out. Whenever you have a caution in the middle of pit stops, it completely kind of shakes up the running order and things get a little hectic. So we're going to see. Oh, we got some trucks locking up, trying to figure out where to go. But we do know is Jack Walls is going to hit pit road. Nick Wing. Sorry, saw Kevin passing him on track. Brandon Briggs, Eric Laurie, Jim Brooks. Everybody's trying to get themselves, make sure they don't get a pit road penalty. Everybody's just, nobody wants to go. It's getting a little hectic there. So looks like pretty much everybody else though that did pit under green, they stay out. We got a bunch of trucks here. Look like we'll take the wave around. Bob Fitzgerald though, Matt, he is our official wave around driver in the 08. But like I said, everybody in front of Kevin, which actually looks like we're gonna step away because I have a feeling the admins are probably having to do some sorting and timing and everything. So we'll let them do their stuff. We'll take a break. Stay tuned. Great sponsor, our 40 Racewear. Again, use code area5115, 15% off gloves and racing shoes. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, lights are off of the Pace truck, and I'd say unfortunately this is going to have to be one of those wait and see situations, Matt. We'll see. Hopefully no pit road penalties. We'll find out as basically either coming to green or on the first lap afterwards. However, what we do know is our top 8 drivers pitted under that green flag conditions, and it looks like Nick Wing is the first to come out the first that pitted under caution to come out. He and Jim Brooks, they're right around the top 10. And then Brandon Briggs, Eric Laurie and company. So they've got about three laps more fuel, Matt, than some of those other guys. And you mentioned this is a 3-mile track. I mean, that's 9 more miles of fuel potentially for these guys. And surprisingly, though, I don't see anybody topping off on the one to go. I thought that would have been, if you're towards the back on the lead lap, you top off no matter what. But also a bunch of wave rounds, I believe, as well. Jacob Lee, Raymond Rittenauer, I think they both waved around to get back on the tail end, or back on the lead lap, I should say. So, like I said, this might be a bit of a jumbled restart of the order. We'll kind of have to wait and see. What I do see, though, Matt, is we've got 3 boot knockers lined up on the inside line, the 25, the 05, and the 88. That outside line is going to have to work hard to find their way around them here when we restart this thing with 13 to go. Pace truck is off, waiting for that restart zone. And then the green flag is down and away. Kevin Freeze leading the field back to green. And so far, it looks like everybody's okay. Saw a little bit of squirreliness further back. Again, this track is very, with even the banking on the straightaways with old tires, it is scary to get up to speed. But right now, it looks like the inside line. I'm saying again, inside line is definitely going to prevail through 1 and 2. The shorter distance, it's always a bad time when you're trapped on the outside. You see Kevin will clear, Brian will clear, but they're going to stay together because they've got the teammates lined up all with each other. And Cody right now, he's kind of going to be relying on that big help from Bud Steele in that 6 truck. And they've done a great job to get back to the door here of Brian as they hit turn number 3. Oh, he's like, Cody got the opportunity. He jumped straight to the bottom. I do not see any trucks hitting pit road. That's great news. That should mean everybody's good to on the penalty side of things. So that's always what we want to see. We want these drivers to race it out. We do have a lucky dog battle, though, Matt. That is going to be between about 4 drivers here. You've got Corey Buzzkirk, Patrick Groover, Jeremy Osborne, and Ambrose Nabel. Those 4 trucks are going to be trying to be the lucky dog to get back on the lead lap. So that's going to be a storyline to watch as well. Right now, Corey has it, but Patrick is right behind him. So we'll have to keep an eye on those guys. But up front, though, they've started to split up a little bit. You see Gabe now, he's gone to the top. Now he's got Cody. The inside line's got the 25 and the 05. So let's say the boot knocker splitting up just a little bit for the moment. But again, we haven't quite hit really go time yet. So give it a 10 more laps here, and these guys are going to be going full tilt here as we're down to 11 to go. Have an attempt, Matt, looking at that third lane, the 28 there, Nick Wing. He's trying to squeeze Todd Merkel a little bit. See if he can get that third lane going, but everybody's starting to shift it. They're starting to all drift up a little bit themselves here. So I say everybody's going to start to get a little greedier, try to find a little more space. And just, yeah, everybody's going to start to pinch each other a little bit more and more. You can see, again, there's a ton of room, but you really want to be as low as you can. As you have the 18-22 close there through 3 and 4. As right now we stay 2x2 up front. Oh, contact, we got trouble in front.
Oh, yeah, that's a yellow.
Caution is I see trucks trying to sneak on by. Brennan Briggs unfortunately involved. Oh, and we got the 17 trucks. I see the pink front clip there. That belongs to that truck there, unfortunately, Frank Ranger Jr. And I think he's already had to burn a fast repair, so this may be a lengthy stop for him. And then, of course, the question is going to be the cause of the caution, and 2, where were the lucky dogs in relation to this? So let's focus on Brandon Briggs, as we, of course, saw him involved. See if we can get a better look at this one here. I think this will be a good look. Or what? I mean, he's already texting. Oh, well, all right. So that's an easy one. You kind of were just in the wrong place, wrong time. Let's actually focus on the 54, Patrick Groover, and we'll hop on the roof of his truck because we're gonna see. Or am I on the wrong Groover? I am on the wrong Groover. Let's go to Seth Groover. Sorry, Mom. Well, they're twins. I get a pass, right? All right. We'll focus on Seth Groover here. And you see he's peeking to the inside. I don't know if it was intentional or if he's trying to squeeze the middle or not, but they meet, and that then accordion goes into Brandon. And Brandon just goes along for a ride here. So Brandon said, let's hop on board. Let's watch what he's doing in the trucks. There goes the field around to the inside. And here he's just hoping. You can see, you see all the smoke. He's got this thing completely locked down. He's got the steering, holding it straight too. Just trying to keep this thing. And then as he starts to drift back towards the bottom, though, you can see he starts to turn the wheel. But unfortunately, that banking is just going to send him straight into the inside wall. So a decent little shot there. Unfortunately for him. So that is going to be our caution. But yeah, so Brandon, don't text and drive though. But I mean, I guess you were at pit road speed, so we'll give you a reprieve on this one. Matt, we're jumping back live though, because what do we see now for pit road?
Let's see. If I was a gameman, I'll be coming.
Well, the boot knockers agree with you. Rick Sanchez does not. So we got a split strategy here. Some are banking on green, white checkers. Some are saying, you know what, I don't want to risk it. And some are kind of in the middle of that. Remember, we talked about Jack Walls, Nick Wing, Seth Groover, Jim Brooks. Those guys pitted under that last yellow. they probably have green, white, checkered fuel on board. Kevin, Cody and company, they put it at 52. They were going to have to, this thing was going to have to go green through to the end for them to be good to go. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on which strategy is going to work. And I appreciate that, Mama Groover, for the pass. I say my brother and I aren't even twins, and we get messed up too. And oh man, so remember how you talked about force feedback, Matt?
Yeah.
Brandon just popped on the chat right now saying the force feedback snapped his wrist when it hooked him.
Ooh.
That doesn't feel good.
It-
I hope
That's
you're
not a
okay.
good feeling. I've that's actually happened. You've almost done that to me once.
I would never.
Yes, you would.
Lucky dog though, Corey Buskirk. We talked about him. He was leading that second pack. He got involved in the pit road mishap, entering under green. That blind squirrel getting back to the lead lap, so he's going to have a chance to try to get back after this one. So great opportunity for Corey. And then I believe that's going to leave Jeremy Osborne, Ambrose Nabel, and Patrick Groover as the three for the attempts, or for the three to be going for the lucky dog this time around. Although, wait, say I'm trying to figure out Raymond now, or I'll wait for him to cycle up. Raymond might be one also trapped the lap down, but I'm not sure why. So we'll wait and see on that one. What's here? They coming out for? We got long pits. We got a long pace lap. I got to show off our great sponsors again, Matt. Let's show some more 4D racewear.
Got forces out.
4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, we are back. So we have 18 trucks, Matt, on the lead lap. The lucky dog battle is, like we said, it will be Ambrose Nabel, Jeremy Osborne, and Patrick Groover. So those will be the three trying to get a lap back should we get another caution. We will be restarting this race with 6 laps to go, so still not in the green, white, checker territory yet. And we've got a shucking up running order here now. We've got the 5 and the 10 on the inside there, Rick Sanchez and Jason Bogart. And then that outside line, I'll say some of the OGs, Bud Steele and Jack Wall. So say some drivers very familiar with each other. Seth's now up into that 6th spot on the outside line. He's got Nick Wing to his inside. Got Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Brooks back into the top 10. And then you got those guys that just pitted here. Kevin Freeze in the 25. Cody Nagels is right there, Brian Wang. So this is going to get antsy now because those guys that were up front that pitted, they're going to want to get back to the front. These guys that are now up front, they're going to hold that track position. So we'll see. Again, our control car is the 5. Once he wants to, he can go, but he can wait till the green flag, and that is what he will do. Green flag's out. We're back underway. 6 laps remaining here at iRacing Superspeedway.
Oh, it looks like someone trying to, someone's trying to thread the needle in the middle.
Whoa,
Whoa.
that really pushed out the 32. I wonder if the 28's trying to get to, I think the 28's trying to get to Jack Walls and to Bud Steele. But yeah, there just wasn't any room there, and Seth's not going to, he's not going to move over for him. He's going to try to push those guys too. So he's got to be careful, and now Seth's going to have to, he's going to have to go to the 3rd lane because, I think he just said, you know what, this isn't going to work. But he's got good help possibly coming up behind him here.
Yes,
as they head into 3. But again, it's going to get even more and more tense because these guys are going to start to squeeze each other more and more each and every lap.
Oh, here they come. Man, look at that push from Kevin Freeze given to the Groover.
Yeah, Seth's got him cleared. He's cleared to the middle or the bottom, but I think he's going to want to wait as long as he can. Maybe he can clear with him.
What a push. Is he going to go to 2nd lane, 1st lane? He's going to take the 2nd lane.
Oh, almost contact.
No room for Cody Nagels to come down the bottom. He's still stuck on the outside there.
That was close there between Cody and Bud, but they hung on to it.
Oh, 4 wide down the back now.
Oh, Kevin's the odd man now. It doesn't have a drafting partner, but right now Cody's got a big push from Jacob Lee. There's the 18 truck. He's back into the thick of things too. Oh man, this.
Oh, we got a wreck.
Oh, the
Wow.
54. Yeah.
Oh, it looks like a little contact from Bob Fitzgerald in the 54.
Ooh, Patrick's hurt in there.
Patrick. Yeah. It.
Oh, and also, unfortunately, Ryan Decker, significant damage too. So they weren't having the best of nights, and I'll say it's just it's one of those nights where it's like just wasn't to be tonight for these guys. But let's go back. We'll take a look. Like you mentioned, it looks like it may have kicked off. We'll see if it kicked off with Patrick, or did it kick? Oh yeah, I think it kicked off to around Patrick. So we're gonna watch the 28, the 08, the 54 area, and you see. Oh, I don't know, Matt. You see the 08. He does drift up a little bit.
Just a little bit. It's all it takes.
I'm also looking to look how tight he is on Brian Wang though on entry. I'm gonna hop on. Actually, let's hop on the roof of the 08 truck. Gotta find him again. Where'd you go, Mr. Bob? There you are. I'm wondering, did he get a little bit of a contact here? I can't tell. I mean, either way, and it was a. There's also a little bit of net code probably involved as well, unfortunately. And then just Ryan Decker, there was nowhere for him to go as both those trucks take solid hits. But I believe from here, this will put us in green, white, checker territory. I'm going to jump back live, though. Again, I don't think we'll see much strategy. I think everybody's going to stay out unless they have some damage to repair. So we'll kind of keep an eye through the back half of the field. Brian's thought about it, said, nope, I'm not doing it. Corey Buzzkirk, though, is on pit road. He was our last wave round, so that's great for him to be able to get service now, too. And I believe it's got to be one of these two, right? Jeremy Osborne or the 04. Jeremy's on the outside, and we're watching, and I think he's creeping up there yet. So I think that's going to be one more blind squirrel back on the lead lap. So give the 41 a lap back as well. That'll put us to 19 trucks on the lead lap. Add that 41 to the list. All right, let's see. No, I was thinking if we want to harass anybody, but I was thinking if anybody wasn't actually on track, but we'll let them be here. So, you know what we're going to do, Matt? I heard a rumor if there's a code called Area 5115. If you use it at 40racewear.com, you get 15% off of some racing boots or racing gloves.
I did.
I think we should show the people, so that way you can get some boots or gloves. I need to do it myself, so I won't. I won't have enough time.
You need to try it. I'm being serious.
I would, but I don't want to put my credit card info on stream, so I'll do it after the race. We'll be right back.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, we are back, and this will be Green White Checkered attempt number 1 on Green White Checker TV. There's a reason why we chose this name. Except for the IndyCar series on Tuesday nights, they don't do those Green White Checkered, so I don't know. Those open wheelers, I tell you. But Matt, you mentioned one of the guys that's been super hot lately is that 5 of Rick Sanchez, and he finds
he is.
himself on the inside line leading the field. He's got Bud Steele, Cody Nagels, Jim Brooks behind him. On the outside, you got Seth Groover, who's having a very polar opposite night to his brother Patrick, but he's got Jason Bogart. He's got the 83 Jack Walls, and he's got the 21 of Jacob Lee. So they've all got good pushers. But we got to go mid-pack here, Matt, till we get to the Gabe Butlers, Raymond Rittenauer, Eric Laurie, Brian Wang, Kevin Freeze. Like, these guys didn't have the restart they're looking for. We saw Kevin. He was the kind of the sucker hole of the 4 wide. He went straight backwards. Aggression's going to pick up even more here because, again, the way it works, if we get to the white flag, at that point it is an official race. They will race back to the finish. However, if a caution comes out before that, they'll rack it up and do it up to 2 more times. So we'll see here. 5's got control.
Here we go.
And we're underway. Little separation by the 5 and the 6, but again, the inside line's going to be kind of the great multiplier. That's going to be the benefit for him. Now it's going to be who gets the push and where the momentum is. But like I said, the inside line's going to have the short distance. But you know what? Great job to that outside lane, 32 and the 10. They stayed hooked up pretty well together. That's going to give them a good push here down the back. Oh, we got the 21 trying to squeeze the middle. This is going to be scary.
That's not going to go well. Oh,
it's not going well. We get the whole field.
Oh, my God. Rick got taken out.
No,
oh, my God.
Oh, man. That's a track blocker there. We're still focused on Rick. He was able to keep rolling, but we've got a parking lot on this one, unfortunately. So it's going to be one of those ones where it's going to be easier to tell you who was not involved than was. So first we'll go back, and then we'll start spying on trucks. And we kind of saw it happening, Matt. They're trying to put too many trucks in too small of an area.
My God.
And let's go back a little further here, and you can just see, like, I'm already watching the pinball action. We got to focus here on the 21 of Jacob Lee because he's literally pinballing it here, basically. So he gets below Jack Walls, and so now we get the pinball action. So I say he's got the room. I mean, there is space there. You've got the lanes, but it just gets really tight. I'm sure at this point, Jack's also probably trying to squeeze him a little bit, saying like, I didn't like that move. But then Cody's where he is, and then you can just see everybody starting to, and then we're running slow-mo, so you can't really see the side to side, the side to side. But then you're going to eventually, the bumps aren't going to give anymore. And that's, right there's the first one. That hooks the 6 into the 10 into the 5. And then here comes the rest of the field pretty much in this one. You see there's the 5, the 83, the 22. Yeah, he gets a piece of it as well. I'm not sure who is. I think the one that maybe got through the best is Seth Groover. I'm watching Raymond Rittenauer. He's going to try to see if he can kind of work some magic here. But now the track just completely blocks. Although, does he get there? Maybe a little bit of right front contact. So I'm going back one more time here, Matt. This time, I'm going to watch out the back of Seth Groover because I think Seth has by far the best view of this, and we'll watch this at speed. Yep. Everybody disappears except 2 trucks. And that will be this number 32, unscathed. Jason Bogart looks maybe a little bit of left front crinkle. I think I can see on Jason Bogart's truck. But, oh, man, that's a little bit. Oh, yeah, you can also see a little bit center punch in the rear end there. That's honestly not that bad. I'm not too worried about that if I'm Jason. I can tell you he did not pit. Third on back, I think pretty much all hit pit road there, though. So we're going to jump back live here. We'll focus back on our leader, Seth Groover. I do not know if we had a lucky dog. Actually, I think Ambrose Nabel may have been the wave round. I'm trying to see, or is it Patrick Groover? Nope, they're both showing one down for me. Disregard. So I think, and also we had a few trucks had to take toes. Cody Nagels, he was up there that whole time, and then now, unfortunately, basically the very, very end has to take a tow. He gets trapped a lap down because of this caution as well. And oof, that's gonna be a plethora of fast repairs for this one, and it's completely changed the running order too. Now, Matt, I'm looking. You still got Patrick, Seth up front. You got Jason Bogart up front, but Todd Merkel, he's gonna restart third. It looks like. Remember I talked about the guys mid pack, like the Kevin Freezes, Raymond Rittenhours, Gabe Butlers. They're all in the top 5. Jeremy Osborne had just gotten his wave around. He's top 10.
My goodness. If you have any kind of replay left, you got to go on board with Raymond Rittenhauer there.
We were watching him. He did some good.
Oh my God!
I'll say if we get top 3, if we can get top 3 with him, we'll chat about his what is he,
Jesus.
the duck dive dip dodge and ducks. But we've got one to go, Matt. This is now green white checkered attempt number 2. Jason Bogart pitted on lap number 52, Matt. Seth Groover pitted on lap number 55. Are these guys getting tight on fuel
my God.
if we have to get to that third one?
I was getting ready to talk about Richard and his fuel, but that's no longer a concern now.
Well, he's got his fast repair. He's gonna go for it all here at this point, I feel like. And yeah, I mean, now I'm looking. There's a lot of boot knockers together now in the top 5. Like I said, you got the 25, the 88, and the 87 all together here. So, yeah, I'd say Jason's gonna have to. He's gonna have to hope he gets some help here. I think for him, like I said, the 32, he's got the benefit of the yellow line, but we still do have. It looks like I believe 18 trucks on the lead lap. Don't know who's got what. This 6 truck doesn't look too great for Bud Steele, but he's going to stick it out. Got a lot of fast repairs too. Brandon Briggs, he's still on track. Jim Brooks, I think probably fast repair, I suspect. We'll see, Matt. This is attempt number 2. We'll see if we can get it done on this time, or will we get to that potential third and final. Jacob Lee's got no front clip on his 21 truck, but he's still on the lead lap, I believe. So we'll see what we got here. Seth Groover going to lead this second green white checkered attempt here. 2 to go at the line.
Here we go.
Oh, big separation from that inside line. That's everything Jason needs here, because I think he's going to clear the 32 entering turn number 1. And I think he's going to want to get to the bottom if he can. And right now he's going to stay with Kevin Freeze. He is just...
Oh, no.
Oh, I see some smoke. Caution back out. We will go to attempt number 3. I think it was Jeremy. I think Jeremy Osborne involved. So caution back out at the time of the yellow. Jason Bogart will be our leader, but we still got one last attempt. However, so now we got to talk about that, Matt. Well, first, actually, let's go back. Let's take a look at the yellow. Like I said, we'll focus, I think, on the 41 truck. I think that's where it kind of starts at. Get a better angle here.
Yeah, it looked like 41 was giving a lot of room for Rick, and I think he knew he was there, but he came down just ever so slightly, and that triggered the contact. And
yeah, you can see the room, and well, yeah.
You see what I'm talking about?
I mean, it's late in the race. They're going for the same real estate. Yeah,
It looks like Brian Wang did not get involved there. He was really close.
Honestly, it's mostly the 41 that got caught up in it. I'm a little surprised it actually brought the yellow. I actually thought it was going to stay green there, truth be told. But yeah, so caution back out. So this will, though, be our final attempt at green white checkered. Again, Jason Bogart pitted lap 52, Seth Groover 55.
Oh man. How much fuel do you have? I hope you got
I hope he's
fuel
saving.
hiding in the rails there, bud.
Well, we'll watch. I mean, this will be a telltale. If he thinks he can make it, he's going to stay out. The truck is completely off. He is coasting this thing, so he is saving every ounce of fuel he can.
Wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, no, you have to. And so here's the thing, though, Matt. This third attempt doesn't guarantee a green flag finish. So if they have a quick wreck like they did this last restart, that's it. Race over. The field is frozen at the time of the yellow. So whoever's leading when that caution happens, that's our race winner. If they get to the white flag on this final attempt, then again, at that point, they will race it back to the checkered. And that will be the result of the race. So we don't know at this point if we're going to get to that white or not. So it could be, again, if it's a quick yellow, that could be exactly what Jason Bogart needs. If they race it back, and then you look at Kevin Freese, he pitted at lap 62. He's still coasting on the apron. So some of these guys might be tighter than we think here. And yeah, so the over-under on 3.5 cautions, we've kind of doubled the 3.5. So the over was the winner, but betting is legal in area 50, or betting is legal on Green White Checker TV. So I don't want to get in trouble. Also, Matt, I saw Amber's Nabel. He got waved around back on the lead lap. So add another blind squirrel to the mix in that 19th position, which is a heartbreaker for Patrick Groover and Cody Nagels, because at this point you know there's no more restarts, or no more cautions. Well, no more waiver rounds, I guess you could say. So they won't be getting any extra positions. So they'll probably wind up here roughly around this 21st position. We do have a few trucks on pit road. Jacob Lee, still no front clip, but he got what he can. He's going to get back out there. And yeah, there goes Jason. He is saving on the apron here. He better stay to the outside of that pit entry. He is. Okay, good. I got nervous there. Yeah, and that's exactly right. He's got to save every ounce of fuel he can. Like I said, we'll hop back on again and listen. Truck is off. He'll basically shut the ignition off, save fuel, crank it up, get a little bit of revs, shut it right back off, and just save every ounce of fuel he can. So if you're Jason, you're kind of hoping for a quick yellow. If
I would.
if you can stay ahead of that outside line, because now you got two teammates lined up, the 25 and the 88, but you don't have a slouch behind you either. You've got a very fast Seth Groover, so he has a great pusher, and this is it though. Yeah, this is the last restart. Whatever happens, that's going to be the end of the race, be it getting to the white and racing it out, or getting a late caution, and then at that point, like I said, field's frozen. That is our result. And look at Corey Buskirk, Matt. He is back into the top 5 in that 998 truck. So
good for him.
I say he was up front. He was then trying to lead that second pack. Got in that pit road incident under green. Got his lap back. Now he's in the top 5. Going to try to see if he can get a good finish too. So again, it's going to be interesting because there's some people that aren't where they want to be. So everybody's going to get antsy and probably make some big moves. And I think that just puts things. I mean, I think that helps the top 4, so I think that puts them in a better spot, because if someone makes a bad move, that's going to likely bring a caution out. That could freeze the field, and if you're in front, you will be the winner. So I want them to race it out, but you never know. Also, Rick Sanchez update, Matt. He's back up into 10th in that number 5 truck, so good recovery still from what he had to go through.
Still got 2 laps. Yep. You never know what's going to happen. As we are... Is that pace truck pulling in now? Yep, there it is.
Handed it over to that 10. Again, he's just got to sip fuel, but again, at this point, he can't do anything. He's got to stay foot to the floor all the way to the end, as he's going to wait for that green flag to fly. Seth is right on him. Great restart for those two. Good restart up top. But I'm going to say advantage goes to that inside line right now, as they're going to have the shorter distance, and they're already locking bumpers as they head into 1.
You're talking about the advantage should be the outside. Look who's 2 hooked up on the outside. Do you see that?
Yeah, but look at the inside momentum, though. And so this is where now the outside's going to have some momentum out of turn 2. So Jason's got to decide, do you stay with your helper? Do you try to slow down that outside lane? Looks like right now staying committed, because actually Gabe and Kevin got separated here. So now he's just got to see.
I think Seth is pretty committed.
And also, again, these trucks got to make sure they don't overheat. So this is a difficult entry to turn 3. Seth is staying locked onto him through
Hang
the
on,
turn.
Corey.
Man, Jason's got to hang on to that thing for all he's worth. They're out of 4. Now it's the drag race to get to that white flag, and that will tell us if we race it to the end. And looks like answer is yes. It was neck and neck. Don't know who had the lead at the line that time.
Jason Bogart did, but with the white flag,
white flag's out. So now it's who gets to the line first and does. Oh, he's got fuel contact.
No, Kevin got turned.
All right, so now it's a whole new ball game. We got to watch where the momentum's going to shift. We'll stay with the leaders here. Jason still leads, but now people are going to start to dice around here. There goes the 32, the outside. Oh, he gets split.
Is it 10 out of fuel?
No, I think he just got split, unfortunately. So now Raymond Rittenauer to the front. He's got Brian Wang behind him. Seth now up into third. Watch Rick Sanchez. He's fourth here. Can they make a late charge out of 4?
Oh my God, is Brian Wayne gonna make a move?
No, Brian's going to stay with Raymond. I don't see that changing.
Yep.
Raymond
There
Rittenauer
you go.
going to get the win. Brian Wang's going to bring it home in second. Seth Groover third. Oh, the heartbreaker, though, Jason Bogart. That truck may be out of fuel, actually, Matt. I
That's
wonder
what
if
I was
there
kind of afraid.
was there
Yeah.
a sputter, and is that why they split them?
Yeah.
My heart goes out to Jason. That's a tough one there. But we got to go back. Let's see what happened here. We saw Kevin Freeze. He had a moment. So what we'll do is we're going to jump to the white flag lap, because that's where it all kicked off. So we're going to start with Kevin, as he's got Gabe Butler behind him. And we're going to slow things down, as I believe it was 1 and 2, if I'm not mistaken. So let's back it down here.
Oh no.
Is it the old netcode?
Yes.
A little bit of netcode. Maybe the 32 drifted up a little bit.
Yeah, but he wasn't gonna touch
But
him.
yeah, nothing intentional. And tries to save it.
Come on.
That's a bummer. And then, though, so what I'm going to do here is now we're going to listen. I want to listen to this 10 truck, though, because I want to hear, does he sputter? I think he just got split. I think they saw the momentum. I
I thought he was out of fuel. That's why everybody was ganging up on him.
Yeah, I mean, they blew by him super quick, but I'm going to keep watching his tack here, because I think what's going to happen is at the end, I think he is going to pretty much run it dry. So, yeah, right there it's sputter. You can see the tack bouncing around. He did not have the fuel to make it to the end. So even if he had it, he needed that quick yellow that we talked about. Oh, man, that hurts, and I feel so gutted for him, but hell of an attempt, though, by Jason. Like I said, he took the gamble, didn't pay off, but then we got 2 teammates got hooked up there, Brian Wang, Raymond Rittenauer. They pull off the win. Seth Gruber brings it home in third. And like I said, great recovery for Richard Sanchez. Bob Fitzgerald brings home a top 5. Corey Buskirk brings it back home into 6th after his late wave round. So great recoveries for a number of drivers. So we'll do our top 3 interviews. And we're going to kick it off with Mr. Seth Groover once we hunt him on down. There he is. Pull up our 3rd place finisher tonight, Seth Groover. I'm a little mad, no Mario Yoshi paint scheme, but you got a podium, so I guess I'll let it slide tonight. But, oh man, Seth, it was wild tonight. I mean, there was times where you looked like you were in the best spot there, and then you kind of got shuffled out, just didn't have the push you needed on the restart. Then you were able to give the 10 a great push, and then, of course, the contact, or net code, I guess I should say in this case, but at a 1 and 2, that gives you momentum to jump top, and you see the 10 get split. But then here comes 2 teammates lined up, and it's basically you and Richard versus Raymond and Brian there. I mean, what was the strategy towards the end? I mean, great pushing, by the way, too, because I think you were locked on the 10's bumper through the turns. I mean, Matt and I are watching that. It's like he's still attached.
I thought my truck was gonna blow. That was crazy. I honestly, I felt bad at the end because I couldn't. Well, while you're driving, you don't really know what happened without looking at the replay. And I moved up just a little bit off of Jason's rear end, and it got Kevin. And I felt really bad after that, so I wasn't really paying attention. But yeah, good win to Raymond there, and that was a good race. Patrick got lapped one time. There was a pit cycle there. We got caught right as we were in our boxes. The caution came out, and kind of screwed Patrick on his lucky dog. And but other than that, it was a good race. I actually like this track, which is wild.
This is a very wild track to say the least, obviously. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, but it's definitely its own challenges. But we talked about a pre-race how difficult it is to be entering turns 1 and turn 3 on the bottom lane as the pusher, because you see a spoiler basically. That's all you see in front of you. And so there's a lot of times where you kind of just have to base it off the guy in front. And so in your case, the 10 truck of Jason, and so you may not time it exactly perfectly, and that's kind of where it looks like you wash up because you maybe just missed that entry by, and it's like a third of a second kind of thing.
Right.
It's so
It's almost like a just you have to just send it in there when you're doing that and get you do a lot of laps around the track, so you get used to it, and but like I did, I kind of washed up just a little bit, and that got Kevin. But that honestly, yeah, you have to peek your nose out just a little bit before the turn at this track, or else you'll be not entering right, which is what makes it fun.
Yeah, I'd say, and then of course, how nervous are you to try to turn your truck left while you're pushing the truck at the same time?
Right.
And
yeah, you could clip them, and oh god, yeah, it's tough.
There's a lot of stuff to worry about, but yeah, I mean, a hell of a job though tonight. Like I said, gaining 14 spots to bring home that podium. Like I said, unfortunately, Patrick with some bad luck this evening, but really, really good job tonight. It was fun watching you guys wheel it all night. So
Sweet.
definitely want to give you the floor though for any thanks and shouts to that podium tonight.
Yep. Definitely want to shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast, and Area 51 in general was a great league. I was thinking about jumping in the Dark Horse League on Tuesday.
Wink, wink, Matt.
You want to talk to me in about,
Matt's your man.
5 minutes? Yeah, you want to talk to me?
Okay, I'll talk to you about it. That'd be great. But yeah, thanks you guys. And then my parents, I think they were watching, so that's good.
Yep, mom was chiming in and say she was enjoying watching you guys go, and she was being a mom and hoping that one of the other drivers was okay, because apparently their wheel snapped on them pretty hard when they spun. So say she's being a good mom over there. But yeah, great job though tonight, Seth. Like I said, unfortunate bad luck for your brother, but and I also got a free pass because I mixed you guys up at one point. So I say she's like top of the list of my books because I got that.
Yeah,
free pass.
I think maybe we'll run the Mario and Yoshi next week. I don't know.
Yeah,
you're supposed to do it today,
you,
though. I'm just
you
saying.
You should have done it today. You don't make Guy angry.
It's Mario Day, man. Come on.
Oh, it's Mario Day.
It's March 10th.
Yeah, we want some classic schemes, brother.
It's MAR 10. Come on, man.
Okay.
You guys aren't nerdy enough.
We'll get it next week, yeah.
All right. But no, great job tonight, Seth.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
All right. Well, Brian's always got the most interesting paint schemes, and this is definitely one of them. But Brian, hopefully you're able to hold on to the wheel the whole time tonight and not do some different type of driving, which we'll talk about at a later time. But man, what a crazy race tonight. I mean, you guys were up and down. I mean, Raymond, it seemed like he had to go through a whole bunch tonight. And then, I mean, unfortunately, you see your teammates get involved in that incident out of 1 and 2 there on the white flag lap. But you and Ray were you guys already hooked up before that, or did it just kind of the seats part and then you guys found each other and it's like, well, this is going to work nicely for us? I mean, take us through that last one.
Yeah, for the entire final green white checkered restart, I was immediately behind Ray, and I was trying to stay as close as possible to his rear bumpers so that maybe he would have an opportunity to go up, because there were a few times where it got super close, but unfortunately he was not clear of the outside, and obviously entering turn 1 and turn 2 there was that wreck, and since I was right behind them pretty much pushing, we were just able to get going and pass everybody for the lead.
So once you get clear, I mean, I'm guessing you see Seth and Richard locked on together in the background. Are you watching that interval at all, or did you guys feel pretty confident, like, I'm just going to stay locked on and I don't think they'll catch us even with the extra draft?
Yeah, we were pretty confident that they weren't going to catch us.
You guys did well. I say it's always nice when you can find the teammate at the right time, and I say you guys, as always, I mean, you guys will make the most of it. So really, really good job tonight, Brian, and definitely want to give you the floor for any thanks and shouts for that runner-up tonight.
Yeah, thanks to everybody at Team Bootnaka. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting, and thanks to the admins.
All right, man. We'll get you back to your team, and we'll chat with you again here soon, hopefully.
All right, thanks.
That leaves one fella left to chat with. It's been a little while since I got to interview him. I'm used to interviewing him, but I'd say he kind of disappeared from us. But Ray, you had quite a wild race, I feel like, tonight. There was a lot going on for you a few times, having to kind of, I think, wait to make sure you didn't get penalized for a pit road so you could to get service to your truck, and some of the timings of the cautions. I mean, there was a lot going on for you tonight, and it seemed like maybe all that bad luck finally turned into some good luck at the very end there with Brian.
Yeah, I gotta say it was pretty eventful there. Just missed that last caution. I don't know how I made it through, but I did. And then I thank Brian there for the awesome push there. Saw the hole down on the low side, and that was it.
And actually, Matt, if I remember right, well, actually, Matt disappeared for a little bit. We were watching you. It wasn't just that one. You had some really good. I think it was pretty much that one wreck that pretty much the whole field minus the leader was caught up in. I don't know if you got any right front contact from it or not, but you were doing some pretty good maneuvering to get through that one. I mean, we were able to catch it a little bit on the replay. I mean, take us through behind the wheel. How tight was that for you? I mean, were you just kind of, is that almost the close your eyes and hope that you get through, or were you seeing the openings and like, okay, I can make this happen?
There was a lot of smoke and no visibility. So if there was a car in front of me, I didn't see it till the last second. You had to hit the brakes and then hit the gas because there was cars coming up the track, and it was chaotic.
Well, you made it look easy there at the end, Ray. Like I said, able to grab the win here tonight. So just great job this evening. And definitely before we let you go celebrate, want to give you the floor here. Any thanks and shouts for that win this evening?
I thank my sponsor, Lucky Dogs. Thank Brian there for the push at the end, Area 51 for all they do, and you guys for doing an awesome broadcast.
All right, man. Well, it's glad to have you back, man, and looking forward to seeing you up on track here some more. So go enjoy this one, and we'll hopefully talk again soon.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Matt. That is our race winner, Mr. Raymond Rittenauer. So while we watch him continue to celebrate, we got to pull up our final results for tonight's event, as it will be Raymond Rittenauer over Brian Wing by about half a tenth, only 200 to him to Seth Groover. Then you got Rick Sanchez, Bob Fitzgerald rounding out our top five. And we talked about some of those recovery drives. Corey Buskirk getting all the way back up to sixth. Jack Walls, Jim Brooks getting back to the top 10 for them. Gabe Butler, Jeremy Osborne, the 41 truck. We talked about some of the bad luck he was having. I think he was even caught up in one of the later incidents after getting his free pass. He gets back all the way to the top 10, so great job by Jeremy. But yeah, I think both of us are hurting for Jason. Like I saw in the chat there, if he had another cup of fuel, he was going to have a chance at that one. So
Yeah.
that's a heartbreaker for Jason. But the thing is, that's these races. You can be so close, and it slips out of your grasp at the end for nothing in your control. So all you can do is just keep putting yourself in those positions, and one of those times the luck will turn the other way. So again, but a great job, Jason. I love the gamble, just about paid off. So definitely look forward to seeing more of you over the course of the season. And then I think it's kind of the ones who got through the wrecks at the end. You got Todd Merkel there in 12th. I'll say Jacob Lee, he's going to finish 13th. I think he was missing a front clip and still brings home a top 15. And you got Kevin Fries, Nick Wing, Ambrose Nabel, Brandon Briggs. So I'll say hopefully his wrist doing okay. And then trucks trapped a lap or more down, Eric Laurie. And then you've got Cody Nagels, unfortunately, in that late incident. Patrick Gruber couldn't get his lap back. And Bud Steele, Ryan Decker, Frank Ranger Jr. And then my brother tried to race, I guess, but probably, I'm guessing, VR headaches didn't allow him to make it tonight. So, but man, definitely a bit of a full moon one here tonight, Matt. But say these guys definitely didn't let down for putting on a wild show, though, this evening for us.
Well, I only got 4 words to say: dip, dive, duck, and dodge. Actually, it's technically 5 words, but that's what Raymond did,
and it worked.
It worked. It got him pretty much to the win.
He was a lucky dog, if you will. Sponsor plug for the hood of his truck.
That and we missed the angle of Kevin Fries. He had a little adventure as well, but the story is, oh man, it's just that one caution. That was a kind of a brain scratcher for me.
That's one of the biggest ones we've had in a while.
Yeah, that was just I haven't seen that in quite a while. That was just everybody pinching, everybody taking. It's like all take, no give.
Yeah, as we got a lovely shadow of Barney here as Raymond's doing the burnout on the front stretch. So I'll say some good action there. But we will be back again on Tuesday night. That's it for us here this evening. And we will be at the Auto Club Speedway. I say it's not destroyed in iRacing. We still got that wild and wide 2 mile
Yep.
oval. That is going to be a lot of fun. I will be calling the shots there. I believe Andrew Wood's going to be back in business as well.
You
So
will.
looking forward to having Andrew back in the booth with me. I say he's probably going to want to be racing there too. But Matt, as always, it's a pleasure doing these with you.
Yep.
Appreciate
Well,
everything you do for the channel, for the league. And yeah, so everybody else that watched, thank you so much for your support here on Green White Checker TV. Always love input. As always root on your favorite drivers. Like I said, we're shameless. We'll give them some extra TV time. But yeah, so until then, hope you have a wonderful evening. Of course, as always, stay safe, and we'll see you all on Tuesday. Until then, have a good night.